Hey guys, Don here. Welcome to Podiatry Practice Mastery. Today I want to talk a little bit about the struggle of dealing with ugly fungal toenails. I know some of you might not do any ugly fungal toenail work, but I still do some ugly toenail fungal work. And I want to talk to you about, I had two patients come in yesterday, and they both got bilateral Keriflex. So I've been finding that I've been doing my monthly newsletter for the office, and I've been showing kind of some before and after pictures for this Keriflex. And if you don't know what it is, it's basically like this resin you put on the toenail, and it's much better than the ones that they glue on top of the nail. And in the beginning, I'm like, gosh, do I really want to be a nail person? Like, I could just as easily send this out there's a couple of nail salons. They have a similar product to it. And you might not think it's worth it, but let me kind of walk you through my mindset on this. First of all, I started slow, meaning I had it for a couple years, didn't really used it occasionally, and I wasn't really good at it. When you suck at something, you just don't do it a lot. Okay, if you're really bad at shockwave, you're not going to use it. If you're really bad at ultrasound, you're not going to use it. So I always recommend when you're starting things out, either do it for basically nothing or do it for very little till you get practice doing it. Once you get good, your confidence is going to get up and you're going to do it better. But I had a bad experience yesterday. So I had two patients. One woman, she had just this crooked toe. She had like a bunion and a second hammer toe overlapping it. Now, if you ever do Keriflex, you have to put these things under the lights, these UV lights. And if you got a hammer toe, the hammer toe is going to hit right on the on the gel that you put on there and mess it all up. So a couple of things, if you do Keriflex, here's a couple of tips. One, I put a Boudin. I tried taking gauze because I'm a cheap guy and I shouldn't have done this. I tried taking gauze and putting it around the toe, okay? And I pulled down the toe so that it wouldn't hit on the bunion. Looking back, what I should have done is use a Boudin splint, okay? Buy him a Boudin splint, give it to him, because for the Keriflex I charge $125 a nail, okay? So it's kind of expensive, less than the summer. So I would have put a Boudin splint on. The other thing I've realized what helps if you're doing this is I have the patients help me. And what I mean by that is if I'm doing bilateral, that's what kind of messed me up. So I did two patients. One, it turned out like bad, ugly, like I didn't like it. And I'm actually going to call her up today and I'm going to have her come in and I'm going to do it again. The other one, though, it turned out beautiful. The one that turned out bad, though, I think it was for a couple of reasons. One, I was trying to do both toes under the lights at the same time. And so what I've realized is you have to put the light a little bit closer. And so the funny thing is I did it on my chair, right, on the plug-in where my chair goes. And so the chair couldn't go up and down, so I got frustrated. And I was running behind, and they wanted to do two of them, and all that stuff. So I was in a rush on the first one that I was doing. And it just didn't look good. I wasn't pleased with it. So when you do it, you want to put it on from the distal part, and you kind of build the nail as you go proximally, and then you kind of you cure it for 10 seconds on one toe. This is how you do bilateral. Then you do the other toe. You cure it for 10 seconds. And then you fill in the rest on the one foot, and then you cure it for 2 minutes. And that's where you have the patient look at the clock. So they're going to look at the timer. It's the same timer I use for my matrixectomies, the same timer that I use for my other types of treatments that I do, okay? And then when I finish the 2 minutes, that gives me 2 minutes to do the other toe. And then I flip the light around to go to the other one, and then I can buff it down. The key is you have to keep adding it until it's even, and then the part that you kind of feel like a nail technician, okay? This is the part that's kind of awkward, because you got to buff the thing down with like a, I don't know, I think it's like a file. And we don't have these grinder systems in our office. We don't do much nail stuff, so we don't like grind toenails for diabetics. We just don't. But for this, you have to. If you want to have it look good, you have to do it. So you have to grind the whole thing down, get all that dust all away, and then you can apply it. Otherwise, it's going to be too elevated. Well, with this patient, I didn't start distal enough, and I just kind of put it on. It looked like it looks like almost like I put a piece of chewing gum on top of the toenail. That same color, too, of the chewing gum. And thankfully, I didn't take a picture to show you guys. But I'm going to have her come back and do it. The second one that I did was at the end of the day with this young woman. She was 20. This other one was like 65 with the bunion and hammer toe. And so the 20-year-old, though, she loved it. And the reason you might, why in the heck do you do this? It's $125 a nail. It's not for the money. Like, this is the only thing that really makes my patients cry. They come in, I do it. They haven't worn sandals for like 10 years because they're embarrassed about their toes, and then they leave and they're happy. And that's how I like to do it. So that's how I use Cariflex. I haven't really had any big issues with it. Some people say they get like water underneath it and bacterial infections. I think the real biggest problem is learning curve. It takes a while to learn to do the thing. And if it looks bad, you're just going to not do anymore. So you have to really take some time, practice it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. You can send it to someone else. But I think someone in the office or someone in your community should do it because it makes a really nice toenail, much better than anything else that's applied. So that's my thoughts on Cariflex and some tips on doing it. If you need any additional help, email me, Don at podiatrypracticemastery.com. If you think I'm dumb and this is horrible and you'd never do it, you can also tell me that too, okay? Tell me if you have something better, okay? I'd love to know. Okay, have a great day.